So once again, driving part of the video, we are in a Japanese Jeep of sorts. It is called a Jimny. It's not quite a Jeep. It's a Japanese Jeep, if you will. Yeah, it's sitting a little bit off the ground with this one. I'm definitely feeling my height in a Japanese made ride. This is a very stock setup on this too, so whether or not we get the get up and go off from this, that is gonna be very interesting to see. Um, your normal setup for a kind of Jeep-like situation, you got your four-seater in this. Decent braking. As soon as I stepped on the brakes, it was right there. We're getting around the corner, so we are in Japan also. Also, if you notice, we are on the opposite side of the ride, of course, because Japan. That's what they do. A Barth, a 1985 a Barth. We're trying to climb up this hill as best as possible. I do have soft racing tires on, so we are definitely this thing is having a hell of a time trying to climb. That is for sure. This thing is not meant stock, the stock build for this is not meant for climbing. So we are trying to, a Suzuki Jimny 2018 is what this is. That blue one is the same one right there in front. Okay, I got the foot to the floor. We're gonna see if we can't catch up and maybe make up a couple spots. We got 3 laps with this, so this is gonna take a little bit to get through this race. Again, just such a well done. Back end slides around. That's what we just figured out there. All right, that's fine. That's fine. We were getting to knowing how to drive this. Downhill Japanese road, boy. Here we are. So, again, just figuring out how. This is my first time having hands-on with this vehicle, so we're getting to know not only the vehicle but the road itself too, and what we can do with this downhill. Oh yeah, because we got a little bit of weight on this. Downhill, we're good to go. So there is all your standard equipment in this with the lights and such. And again, great job by the developers just putting all the different, it's full scanned in, so you got all the different little things that you would normally have in this ride. It's not like a racing vehicle version of it. It's an actual stock build of it. Thing is definitely, it's got a little bit of a slide to it for sure. So I gotta might have to feather the trigger, feather the gas, the throttle a little bit going around the corners with this, and also dance on the brakes just slightly. Alright, so that is lap 1. Let's see if we can't get this thing moving a little bit more. But I would probably suggest, if you're going to try and actually use this in a race, is probably upgrade. Definitely, I mean, as you can see, you're going to need some definite engine upgrades with this. So this one is part of the newest updates. It was basically 3 vehicles, and I'm going to have 2 of those vehicles up on the channel in video forms. But that third one, I don't have access to it because you have to. The promotional card that you have to buy a watch for or something. So yeah, interesting. We get 1 exotic, 1 Jeep-like. Again, we're gonna see if we can't get these corners without having to slow down too much. There we go. Again, first lap is always you're just trying to figure out the vehicle and the road itself. It seems like we're starting to creep up a little bit. So we're in 7th place, but we're making ground. Definitely making ground here. All right, so now, what is that? Bertone? Bertone? A B-A-T-T? No, a B-A-T-1. 1952 B-A-T-1. Adjust my vision a little bit. There we go. Now it's slight bit of blurry vision going there with the VR headset. We're gonna see if we can't start powering past. Now we got the vehicle figured out. Honda Beat, 1991 Honda Beat. 91 is a good year. Okay, so we're going a little bit downhill, but this is where I almost spun out that last time. We got to be kind of careful a bit. Going downhill with this. Did not mean to spin you out. Sorry about that. This thing just rolls downhill. Ooh, yeah. A little bit of brake pressure and the back end. We have no weight in the back end. It's seats back there, so it's not exactly weighted so much. Maybe it is, but there we go. Got one more lap, top 5. I think I might be able to bring this home for a win. We'll see. Let's try and test it out here. Downhill, it's like I can cruise with this thing downhill. It's interesting. It seems like this has some weight to it going downhill because we can easily get around everyone, but when I hit the brakes, so this thing must be... I keep getting the tailspin happening. If I hit the brakes just a little bit too... apply a little too much pressure to the brake. Again, part of the newest updates. This is it's interesting seeing the different vehicles that they're picking to bring in. You hear that upshift here? I'd be interested to see what comes next. I am going to try, we were so busy over the last few weeks when this car pack dropped. I am going to try and start doing these VR videos a little bit closer to when they do drop, if I have the cash in pocket, because that's another thing too. Is one of the cars that they dropped in the update was $1 million ride. This one was it was cheaper. Can't remember. It's on the lower end of the price scale. So if you have a little bit of cash in pocket, you should be able to pick this up relatively easy. I think it was under 20 grand, like maybe around 18 or so. Don't quote me on that. Again, this just feels like a regular. It feels like a regular Jeep, but like a Japanese version of a regular Jeep. So it's interesting. I definitely feel like I'm very tall in this, but then again, I was also I adjust the camera so I can get a little bit better of a view. Let's see what the default view looks like really quick. Okay, it's not there. Now I'm not 7 feet tall. Yeah, a little more in the driver's seat. So I will say, because normally it's hard to see our dashboard because the VR puts you a little bit lower in the seat, because usually you're like down here or something. That's why I normally up myself a little bit, but you got so much clearance. You got a very big windshield on this, so you got very, very good clearance all the way around. There's almost no blind zones. You got your mirrors right there, windows. Again, we're gonna try and go down this hill without spinning out. I am top 3. I was going to take over top position. This is where I would kind of come close to doing it. We got a Honda Beat in the berth. To attempt it. As soon as I push it at all, then the back end on this. So Again, very interesting ride, to say the least. Uphill. I don't know if I got enough in this. Don't know if we got quite enough in this to actually get up there. Went from what is it, 12th to 3rd, with just a stock setup. So yeah, I don't think I have enough to actually catch up with that, with the lead. If I did a couple engine upgrades, got a little bit more acceleration on this, I could probably catch him on the corners. But yeah, there's stock out of the gate. You're going to need a little extra cash just to be able to get this up to speed. Okay, so there you have it. A Japanese Jeep-like. Interesting. Part of the newest update also.